Let's get started. So if you will, I'm going to ask you to reintroduce yourself. Okay, tell us about your production, your units you've sold, and we were talking about a team earlier. Go into depth about your team, how you built your team, what your team entails, what does each person within your team do, and then how you found them. How do you find the best people? Is it through LinkedIn? Is it through Craigslist? Through networking, social media, through open houses, other realtors you bump into? Is your team licensed? Do you have people that are licensed brokers, or just, not just, but perhaps just an EA, things like that? So thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mario Avalos, and my production this year is going to be 16.5 and 47 units in the last 12 months. My team, it's me, listing agent, I have a buyer's agent, and a full-time, I wouldn't call it assistant, it's more like my right-hand person, which is, see what she's right there. How did I go about picking my team? Well, Lucia happens to be my sister. And
did you say your sister?
Yes. Right after college, she wanted to try the business. So I gave her the opportunity, she got her license, and best decision I've ever made. The way we manage each other is, as soon as I get a seller or buyer under contract, she runs with the process up until closing. I'll only get involved if there's any negotiations that need to be done. And my suggestion to you is, often I get asked, when is the right time, or how many units did you close before you hired somebody? And my answer is, as soon as possible, even if it doesn't make financial sense at your current time. Because what happens is that the amount of time that you're gonna have left from not doing all the admin stuff, okay, it's gonna be double the time. You know, free up a lot of time, and that means that you're gonna have that extra time to do what makes money. And I also have a full-time buyer's agent. My wife, she is in the art world, and she hired somebody this person, all he did was negotiate cash for keys, which is basically negotiating with people that live in properties that are foreclosing, give them money, negotiate money so that they can move out of the property, so that way the foreclosure can materialize. This person ended up getting his license and is now my buyer's agent. Well, if I was thrown in a new city and I needed to start from ground zero, I would do two things: door knocking and cold calling around just sold.
Describe the door knock.
Well, excuse me, I lost my train of thought. Door knocking or cold calling. Okay. As you're generating your database, okay, and you're filling up information, people that you're meeting, I have a saying that I follow up with everybody until they either buy, they sell, or they die. Okay, there's no bad in my train of thought. Having said that, everybody that I do meet, whether it's through cold calling or door knocking, I categorize them into different buckets. If I meet somebody that tells me, I'm not going to sell my house for like another 5 years because my kids are still in college, then I put them on a bucket list where I'm going to follow up with them maybe twice a year. Now, if they tell me that, hey, you know what, I'm near retirement, I'm going to be retiring the next year, then I put them with this person in a bucket list and follow up with them every 2 months, letting them know, hey, this is about the property, how the market is moving, and whatnot. But probably more important than going out for business and generating leads, in my opinion, there's so many ways to generate leads. I personally think it's now easier than ever to get leads, especially. So not only, my advice would be for you is to not only focus on lead generation activities, but focus on what happens between your brain and your mouth in terms of converting that lead into an actual transaction. Okay. And to me, that's very important because now more than ever, when I'm going after a lead, for sure, there's at least 2 or 3 other agents going after them. And the same thing is happening with you. And if you're not able to convert that lead in a reasonable time frame, chasing.
Kind of set me up for my next question. He was talking about social media, so we'd like to know how do you utilize it? I mean, a lot of it is free. I mean, I know you can amp it up somehow, but it can become viral depending on your followers and Instagram, and Facebook, and all this stuff. So Natasha, why don't you start? Tell us how you do it.
In terms of social media, I'm in a bunch of different platforms. I'm sure like many of you are, LinkedIn, YouTube, but whatnot. But my suggestion would be to pick one or two platforms where the majority of the people that you know are in, and go all in terms of the amount of time that you're going to spend and the amount of money that you're going to spend, because social media can suck a lot of time. And I use it as a supporting tool to stay on top of my clients, my past clients. Usually, right after closing, at the closing table, hey, are you on Facebook? I friend them on Facebook. And I call all my past clients and centers of influence at least 4 times a year to keep in touch with them. And what I do is I have my CRM right in front of me, and their name comes up because it's the time to call them. I'll pull up their Facebook profile, and I see what's been going on in the last couple of months. You know, have they had a kid, have they gone on vacation? And so that way, when I talk to them, I have a little bit more information to talk to them about, not just ask for business. Again, the goal here is to ask for business, but it just makes it more engaging. Another thing that I would suggest to you if you are going to go the route of trying to generate business from social media is to set a goal, a monetary goal, and focus on engagement. I know it looks nice and it looks good to have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 fans on your page, if that's the road you want to take. But if you're not making a penny out of this, you're wasting time. So focus on engagement, on people actually contacting you on Facebook because of the content that you add to Facebook, and convert that. And then set a goal. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to build a Facebook page, and I'm going to go hard at this for the next 6 months. How many transactions do we want to close in the next 3 months, on the 6 months? 2 deals, 3 deals. After 6 months, have you already closed it? If you haven't, try something different. If you don't want to try something different, shut it down, don't waste time.
Okay, Alex has a question for buyers.
How you guys doing? Pretty much for buyers agents, basically, what do you guys look for in mortgage originators to make sure they're not going to be wasting your time?
What are we looking for in mortgage originators?
How does a mortgage originator get your attention?
Good appraisals.
I focus on 3 things when, I have a close relationship with 2 lenders, and the reason why I have a close relationship with them is because of 3 things. They can get an appraisal and a loan commitment in 7 days or less, and they can close in like 15 days. Appraisal, loan commitment, and closing. That's key. I mean, I see a lot of lenders advertising that they're the best, they're the best, they're the best. That really doesn't solve the problem, especially when you're competing against multiple offer situations. Loan commitment, appraisal, and closing date. The quicker they are, run with them.
I know we got a constant influx of people throughout the day. So we got some new people here that weren't this afternoon. Stephen Marshall, who's the founder of the Mastermind Summit. Mortgage is his background. He was involved for 26 years. I mentioned earlier that he always targeted these top agents. I mean, a lender may get discouraged if you make it, just like cold calling and calling clients. Lenders are calling you. They want to try to see how they can partner with you. If they constantly get no's, well, how do you open those doors? Okay, so what Stephen would do, he'd call them up and say, I've got an idea to help you generate new business you don't already have or you won't get. Business you can obtain with me. And all I'm asking you is, if you give me a shot at closing those loans on only the business that I help you generate, let's meet for a cup of coffee and discuss that. It opened the door. It opened the door. Pretty soon he was taking all their business. Okay? He became their lender and got more and more and more of that business. So you've got to come up with some new ideas, some approach where you can help them generate new business. And not to give us a plug, but iAppraisal might be that venue. Our original business model with that was to target realtors only and have them bring on their lender to partner. Well, the lending companies, I'm dealing with iMortgage, Loan Depot, Benchmark, Prospect. I mean, these $29 billion companies, Caliber, they're getting this. They're seeing this as a way, they're gobbling up the zip codes and seeing it as a way to build a bridge with a realtor. So it works both ways. So let's give our panel a hand, folks. Give our panel a hand. Stick around, we're going to take a break in just a second, and happy to give you some photos. So I'm going to ask Mark to come up here. Mark, on top of mind, is one of our diamond sponsors. I'm going to give Mark a couple of minutes to share with him. Thank you. Thank you all. Oh, hold on, let's get a couple photos.